what's going on? It's Muriel from the Sunshine Family, and in today's video I will be sharing 14 very important tips on how to build your home in Costa Rica. And building a home in Costa Rica can be giving huge headaches. It can go smooth, and there's a way in between. And I will be sharing, as you are used for me here on the channel, everything I've learned myself. I've built this small home in Costa Rica, as you see behind me, and I will touch on everything that I believe you can benefit from. I believe there will be at least one tip that I will be sharing of the 14 that you didn't know about or didn't think about. And also I will be touching on the price of this house, and also how long it took us. So yeah, you have a little bit of an impression on what to count on. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, consider to do so right now. With the little icon you see here on the screen, you can tap the bell to get notified every time I upload a new video. Sometimes it's live. I also do shorts, and I'm just excited to share you more that I have learned along my way of living in Costa Rica. Okay, are you ready to dive right in? Let's get started with tip number 1, and that's all about the architect. Work with a reputable architect to ensure your home is designed to withstand the climate and natural elements. And it's important to work with an experienced and reputable architect who is also familiar with the local building codes and regulations in the local area. That means that he or she knows the municipality rules, and that's important to prevent huge mistakes, because there's rules and regulations in different areas who are really different. Okay, so make sure you find a good architect. We were really happy with ours. Tip 2, choose the right location and the right position of the house towards the sun. Let me dive right in why. Consider accessibility and the natural environment when selecting a location for your home. Costa Rica has many beautiful areas to choose from, but not all may be suitable for your needs, right? Mountain climate or beach climate is a world of difference. A house rots easier on the beach property. Did you know that? And yeah, if you do not prep your house for problems caused at beach properties, like for example here in the area of Santa Teresa, crabs eat from within the house pipes, and they break the pipes of the washing machine, but also under the house. Who is thinking about that? But I assure you, local architects know about these problems and will help you prevent problems, and yeah, and be sure to calculate solutions already in the building process. Here's tip number 2, choose the right location and the right position of the house towards the sun. Let me explain. A house at a beach property and a house in a mountain property are a huge world of differences in temperature, in problems. I have an example that there is crabs eating up the pipes within the house on beach properties here in Santa Teresa. Who's thinking about that? But besides that, also a house on the beach has to suffer way more from the salty air than somewhere in the middle of the country. as that makes sense, right? But also the position of the house towards the sun is what a lot of people forget, how important it is to not point the front of the house directly towards where the sun is all day. Why? I've seen it with my friends. It will blind you all day. You will not be able to sit there. It's very tiring for having the sun the whole day faced towards you. You better just turn the house a little bit. That's what we have done with this house actually. So when the sun is at the hottest of the day, it's a little bit more to right there than here. Makes it accessible here on the patio. And I hope that you really remember this tip when designing the position of the house on your dream property. Tip number 3, prepare for the climate. Costa Rica has a tropical climate with high humidity and heavy rainfall during certain seasons. Ensure your home is designed to withstand these conditions, okay? And incorporate features such as adequate ventilation and drainage. And I will show you some example what we have done ourselves. So this is ventilation, and also according to drainage, think about where the water, I'm not sure if you can see it. So here's where the rain will be caught in. And this, you may wonder, all my Airbnbers ask like, why is this for when they stay in dry season? But when the rain is falling heavily, it will not just like crush down, but it will fall here into these, especially dug holes for it. So it's not like a big waterfall, and the water is guided through these cables. And you can also, by pulling this, keep the drainage clean of leaves and stuff. Just an example. Does that make sense? I actually have a super important tip for the inside of the house. Always keep furniture where you put stuff in slightly open. Do not completely isolate it. It doesn't work in this climate. Keep it airy and breezy, and that keeps your clothing and bed stuff and towels fresh. Tip number 4, sustainable materials. Now, my experience with building a house in Costa Rica is that you are better off with more long-lasting materials than going for only budget materials. For example, wooden houses are cool where termites love wood. If you do not use Costa wood, which is overall more expensive than building a stone house, you don't want a wooden house. For example, you want high quality doors that is more sustainable and will last longer. There is budget materials of this, but I learned from my constructor and also other people who build houses who used the budget version of these doors, is that those logs break easily, and you don't want that. Especially, you want to be able to lock your house. If it is for yourself or for renters, you want, quality. Also, getting materials at the location is a hustle sometimes, also depending on the area where you live. I live on the peninsula, so you rather invest one time in high quality doors, sliding doors or windows, for example, than just having to replace it in a short amount of time, if that makes sense. Tip 5, choose the right construction company, and really do your research and choose a construction company with a good reputation and experience building homes in Costa Rica. And my golden tip that I got from someone else, search for 3 references of people who do not know each other, and then focus on that construction and do your own due diligence as well. And I would focus on what's the reference point. Do they speak English? Yes or no, if you do not speak Spanish. And where do you need to call when there's a problem? Is there someone intermediary between the company boss, so to say, and the constructor's boss, who is basically in charge of the construction team? Like, know how this works, and So you know exactly what to do when you believe things are not going according to the plan whatsoever. And unfortunately, still a lot of people are too naive and don't do their due diligence well. Even one positive experience of someone may not be a good experience for you. Unfortunately, I have seen big disasters, so please learn from this tip, okay? Tip number 6, ensure that your home meets local building regulations and permits that are obtained according to the rules. Before starting your constructions, failure can result in delays and fines. Again, your architect should be, if it's a good one, should be knowing all these local rules and regulations and check this with the local municipality and basically knows what you need before the construction gets started. Tip 7, have a budget for unforeseen costs and be on top of the calculations of your team. Be prepared for unexpected costs that may arise during the building process, such as delays and changes to design or unforeseen construction issues. My experience personally is that it's in general accepted to be 10% more than the basic calculations. And also, what you may not know is that the prices of material in Costa Rica are going like this as well. So today, in the whole calculation before you start building, the beams will be price A, but in between now and 3 weeks, those import prices will be increasing. That makes the whole price of the construction more, if that made sense. And that's not the fault of the constructor. That's basically has to do with all other stuff that you do not have an influence on. That's the has to do with taxes and stuff and import prices, and that is a big thing in Costa Rica. Prices go like this, and be aware of it. So you have a spare budget, and don't tell your builder that you have it, because if they may sense that you have a large reserve budget, they may also calculate in your disadvantage and in their advantage. And I don't want to be rude or talk bad about constructors, but I've heard stories. I know it happened, and I've also experienced that myself. Tip 8, plan for outdoor living spaces. Take advantage of Costa Rica's beautiful natural environment and climate and plan for outdoor living spaces, such as a patio or a deck, and save a lot of cost this way. This, for example, is a 1-bedroom apartment, and the budget that we had for this house, this is Dirk's mom's house, and she had a budget, and she was thinking about having more rooms, but that increased the price, obviously. And then we literally pointed out to her that basically we always are living outdoors. We are more on the deck than inside of the house, so why build an extra room when you can also increase the size of the roof and use this as your exterior living room. So this is a big tip for money saving in the construction. Tip 9, invest in quality windows and doors to protect your home from the elements and potential break-ins. Invest in quality windows and doors that are designed to withstand the climate and provide security. Have a good lock. A lot of houses have bars. It depends also on your property and how your property is secured around. But what we love is that every window, let me show it, every window has these ventilation. Also, it's against mosquitoes, but this is like a layer, and you can decide to open this fully up or close it by the window or by the mosquito net. It keeps the house breathing, and of course quality materials have that. This was a quality product that delivered also with the mosquito nets and the sliding doors and windows. I think it's awesome, and I think you should consider doing that as well. Tip 10, incorporate natural ventilation to reduce the need of air conditioning and take advantage of Costa Rica's pleasant climate. Incorporate natural ventilation features such as windows and ceiling fans. Really gonna be a huge long-term electricity bill savior. This house has no air conditioning. Why? You see those ventilation parts. It's also covered with mosquito nets. We have 2 big high quality vents outside and 1 in the bedroom. And this is basically the outdoor living space. This is all you need. This is all Dirk's moms need. And we have never had any people staying here who were too warm or complained there was no air conditioning. You don't need an air conditioning if a house is breathing this way. Tip 11, plan for water management. Costa Rica experiences heavy rainfall, so plan for adequate water management, systems such as gutters, downspouts, and drainage, and consider if it's your own property to dig a well that you can use. You can put a filter system on it. That will save on the long run a lot of paying bills, and it's just cool to have your own well. Tip 12 is to invest in solar power. We have abundant sunlight here, and investing in solar power to reduce your energy cost and carbon footprint is of course a big win. We have chosen not to do it for this house, but for sure for the next house that we'll be building on our property or another property, we will for sure invest in that. And of course it's front-end investment, but you have to think at the long run always, not just do everything on a budget. Just think on the long run what it will save you and make wise decisions based on that. Okay, tip 13, plan for accessibility. This house is built for Dirk's mom and she has very healthy legs, but still we created it that she can hold herself. So, you know, just you have bars for balance, but also now it is a very low stairs, but it's easy to create something that in the future, hopefully the far future, she needs to roll in her house, that you can create something to put over the chair, and also that the whole house is accessible with a roller chair or some helpful tools for elderly people who are not really good at walking anymore. So be prepared of the sizes of the spaces that way. So the final tip I want to bring you today, tip number 14, according to building a home in Costa Rica, is that you know exactly that your black and white contract is legal. So have a good attorney checking your contract before they start doing the works. Having a good attorney while living and building a home in Costa Rica is just priority. You cannot do it. I will not do it out. Let's state it that way. Also, have this in mind. After the house is delivered, different contractors have different periods of guarantees. For example, most houses are built in dry season. Now, if a roof is leaking, yes or no, it only occurs when it's rainy season, right? So if a contractor says, well, you just have 2 weeks to a month of guarantee after delivering and the completion of the house, you have a problem when 3 months later the rainy season starts and you find out you have one or several leaks. Now you have to pay it from your own back pocket money. That's not what you want. So I would go for a longer period. My contractor had a 3 years guarantee, but funny enough, you know, I learned the hard way as well. My construction boss, so the guy who was in charge of the whole team, disappeared far after the house was done, but within the 3 years of guarantee we found out some cracks and stuff that should be repaired, especially the deck, and we had a hole in the roof, and there was no one picking up the phone when we wanted to use that guarantee. So at the end of the day, we had to pay it from our own back pocket money, right? And that's not what you want. So that's why I'm making this video. I learned myself, as I said, not everything goes really well right away with me. I want you to help prevent mistakes. And basically, this house is a very good house. Of course, I like it myself. Dirk's mom loves it. And we get a lot of nice feedback from the people who rented this by word of mouth through my YouTube channel. And also recently through Airbnb, people are very delighted. They say there's a good atmosphere. It's cool. It doesn't have air conditioning. And we are very delighted. I hear you think, how long did it take you to construct this house? It took us 10 weeks only. That has everything to do with if your construction team is working with 2 guys or with 12 guys. We had a big team that was well arranged. And how much did it cost us? Well, back in the days, 2.5 years ago, we paid $50,000 in total. So that is not including the furniture. That's a different story. You have to calculate that as well, of course, in your budget. We have a friend who is making furniture by hand, quality wood, Costa Costa wood and stuff. And, you have to count that up, the total budget, because without furniture you cannot do. And here on my peninsula, the Nicoya where I live, buying furniture in a shop, in a furniture store, we didn't like it. So we have calculated that in the budget and we're super delighted. So again, below my video, you can check out the house by pictures on Airbnb. And also, if you like my video, please let me know in the comments below. If you have questions, please let me know. And if you want to know again what it is that I do and teach other people around the world online as a virtual coach in building a business online that is totally Costa Rica friendly, check out the other information below my videos. It's a delight to bring everything that I've learned myself here on the channel, so stay tuned for my next one. Thanks so much for watching, and I wish you a lot of success with building your home in Costa Rica. Go for it and keep me posted if you completed your project. I love to hear about it. Ciao!